have some wonderful, formidable guests with me so that we can talk for a long time if we want to, because it was indeed short work for G2 Esports. And I am joined here in PGL by Perkz, by Mikyx, by Wunder, and by Ocelote. Of course, I have to go down the line. First up, congratulating you guys. That was phenomenal. The fastest win in a finals in Europe we have ever seen, beating the record by 30 minutes. And Perkz, I will go to you first. You've lifted the trophy already 4 times, and the first time was here in Rotterdam. What does it mean to you to do it again, get your crown back, get your title back in the stadium?
Well, it means kind of everything to me because it's my life, right? So I give everything into it, and I kind of had this visualized, like it's as crazy as it sounds. I knew this was gonna happen. From off-season work we put in, to planning, to assembling the team, to making sure the team works. And at the beginning of Split, I already saw myself lifting the trophy, and now that it happened in such a dominating fashion, I just feel relieved and happy that it actually happened.
You talk a lot in team perspective. I love that. You know, you talk about the project, the team, and everyone around you, but we know there was a personal mission here for you today as well, of course, as AD carry, because 4 times you lifted it as a mid laner, and now you wanted to prove to everyone that you could just do it as well as an AD carry. How happy are you with that fact?
Well, I'm very happy that I can win on 2 roles, but today I didn't even get to play my role. I mean, I played final one game, one game Sona Taric. Thank you, Riot. And one game I played Nico. We've been saving it for a playoff. And we were saving it for a very long time, so yeah, I mean, I'm just super happy that I win. And doesn't really matter what role, I just want to win, yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, hopefully we'll see you play some more actual marksman as the time goes on. Mikyx, tell me what it means to you to win your first title. I know it's not been easy this year, of course, so far with your injury, but it must feel amazing that when it mattered most for your team, you played out of your mind.
I mean, it still doesn't really sink in because it was really fast. I expected it to be more of a struggle because when I joined the LCS, like 3 years ago, I got to the final in my first split. So I thought from there on it could only go better. But yeah, it took some time.
It did take some time. Can you speak to me about that? Because indeed, in the beginning you got to the final in your first split, and then you probably thought, well, hey, this is just the way it's going to be. How hard was it actually to get to that level where you could lift the trophy?
Well, I'm not sure. I guess all it took was to hurt my hands, both of my hands, so then, yeah, now I could finally do it, but I can't lift the trophy, so. Okay. But luckily, I have a good team that could help me lift it.
Always funny enough. Wunder, a huge congratulations. You've played just out of your mind for a very, very long time now. I know for you specifically that your family has come to, I think, every single game you've ever played, or I've seen them definitely a lot. What is it like for you to finally be able to reward them with the biggest prize whilst they're also here?
Well, it feels really good, of course. When I joined the league, I was not considered a very good player at all. And then, yeah, I made it to the finals, the split after, and after that I've been considered like maybe a top 3 player throughout my entire career. So I feel like it's about time. I mean, I joined G2 because they're a championship team, and I felt like I could win a title with them. It didn't work out last year, but this year is the magic just hit. So
yeah, you are the Kia player of the series also for this one. Is it nice to get that recognition in a team where a lot of other people always steal away, or actually also deserve the Kia player of the game?
Well, it's nice, yeah, but I actually don't feel like I played that well this series. Like, I feel like if there's like a series where I don't deserve it, maybe it's this one. But that's maybe like biased because maybe a lot of people don't see what I actually did in the series and stuff like that. But I feel like my team was playing really well, and they honestly got outperformed pretty hard on all other roles as well. So to your question, I think I'm just grateful that I have really good players and that I can compete with them to get like MVPs and player of the series is just a good thing. I don't want to be like a one-man show. I don't want to be like just about me. So I'm really happy about the state the team is in.
Yeah, I think you're right, actually. The games were so bonkers that it's hard to see what you actually did, what anyone else did. What can you guys tell me about the craziness of the series? Was it planned beforehand that you were going to pull a crazy strat every game? Was it in the moment? Did you feel game one went well so you could just do whatever you wanted, Perkz?
Well, we played Sonataric because it's the European/American meta. And we think it's kind of strong, so we just picked that. And then we played our counter to Sonataric. Like, it begins that I woke up one day and I thought, what could be good against Sonataric? And then I thought maybe Final is good against Sonataric. And then I pitched the idea to my teammates. Half of them didn't really like it, but Caps was instantly jumped on the train.
Of course.
Like, Caps was instantly there to support me in my idea. And just the fact that he can play Pike and another role on stage was also very intriguing to him, right? So we decided to make that happen. And then in game 3, we went a bit more standard, where our top side was kind of smurfing, and we were just trading kill spots. And yeah, honestly, it was a bit easier than I thought it would be, but I guess same for my teammates.
Carlos? Yeah. Carlos, it kind of felt, no disrespect to OG, but because of all those strategies, like an advertisement for how good G2 Esports is. What did you feel when you were looking at all these crazy strats and thinking if they could pull it off? And was there a part of you that thought, hey guys, you do actually have to win, like calm down?
So yesterday, Mitch, I speak with Mitch WhatsApp, and I say, Mitch, how's it going? How do the guys feel? And he tells me, yeah, tomorrow they'll play this. And I'm like, all right. I was talking to my wife, and I was telling her, on one hand, I'm like, Jesus, do we need to do this, you know? On the other hand, I was like, you know, they think it works. I always tell them they should have fun, and in my opinion, if they have fun, then that's half the job done, you know, because they're so good at the game and they enjoy the game so much that. But yeah, from out there, you know, from back there, even though it was the fastest series or whatever, it just felt like an eternity, you know? It felt like every game was a heart attack after a heart attack. So yeah, for me, I live it very differently than they do.
Of course they do.
As players, they know exactly what they have to do, and they don't feel nearly as nervous as I am.
Carlos, now that I have you, can you say something about OG? It was really tough for them, I can imagine today. Also, you know, your colleague for many years, Expeke, in that organization, the Fish Show, all the players who work so hard. What can you say about them and their journey so far? I always like to talk trash and have fun, and many of us do, you know? Yeah.
That's our style, right? But truthfully, we respect every opponent, and I respect every other team owner, because if they're there, it's for a reason. I have battled against Expeke as a player many times. He's won many more times than I did to him. Now I get to kick his ass a little bit. It's just competition. The truth is that I respect everyone. These guys respect everyone, even if you see them talking trash on Twitter. And you know, at the end of the day, what we have in mind is, if you want to watch bad news, you can go anywhere else. You know exactly where to go to find bad news and sadness. If you want to have fun, just follow these guys and myself and G2 Esports on Twitter and watch our videos, because it'll be entertaining. And that's something that people slowly get in, and I'm glad.
Absolutely. This is, by the way, the trophy, which is now engraved with your names, so it's pretty cool. How did it work? Because I heard that it's super heavy, so did you have to try and lift it before? Because I heard each team has to choose someone who could actually lift it in case they were to win. What happened?
Well, he didn't lift it for sure, because his wrist
we know
is
this, yes.
completely destroyed.
Well, I mean, we rehearsed and like we lifted it before, but I mean, I kind of like chickened out, because I was like, I'm gonna choke, you know, when I go up there. So Luca was like, okay, I'll take it, you know.
You did it?
I mean, he was the first one, but like everyone did it after that, you know. Like I just saw Luca and he was like,
Yeah, no. You chickened out. He was the first one.
No, he was the first. Like he was the first one, right?
Yeah.
But like everyone like did it after him.
Oh, okay.
I mean, to be fair, he hits the gym a lot.
I heard.
I've been with him, he's really strong.
I heard.
His bicep curls are sick.
Yeah, Luca, was it difficult to lift the trophy? It's 14 kilograms.
First,
Was it more difficult to lift the trophy than to beat OG in the final?
Now you're doing the burning.
I mean, first we heard it's 20, and I was like, I mean, I'm not really lifting a 20 kilo trophy. And then after lifting, I'm like, that's a 20. And then someone said it's 18. And now I hear it's actually 14. So
Yeah, every
now
time
I don't
someone
feel as
told
strong
to me
anymore.
about it, it was like more heavy. Like first it was like, oh, it's 8, it's 14, it's 20, it's actually 40 kilograms.
They also made sure to tell us like every 5 seconds.
Don't
Be careful,
drop it.
guys. It's very heavy. It's very heavy. Like I heard this like 15 times, and I was like, okay,
you
they're
know
really
why?
building it up. They're really.
You know why? Caps almost dropped the other one, which was very light, but if you drop this one on your feet or something, that's really not good. Back to seriousness. Also, no disrespect to OG, of course. I don't think I have to say it. It was just a joke, and we're all very proud also on what they did with the roster so far. But that brings us to the next topic. Let's start with summer. Let's start with Europe, right? Because Mickey, it doesn't feel like you guys have any competition here. What do you feel about the playing field in Europe, and what do you think that will bring in summer?
I mean, I think Fnatic and OG were both good teams, and I think for the next split they'll like step it up. I think also Misfits might do the same, but honestly, I don't think anyone can really match us, and I think our only opponent are my wrists, if I'll be able to play or not. So yeah.
Okay, what is it then? Is it pure, raw, individual, mechanical power? Is that the start of all of it? And are you each an individual just better players and much better players than anyone else individually?
I mean, I think so, and I think on top of that, we all get along really well, and everyone has really similar personalities, and I think it's like 1 in a million kind of team. I don't think, any other team has something like we have.
Yeah, I think from the outside looking in, that is what it looks like. We've seen a lot of teams be very successful in Europe. Carlos, you were there from the very beginning as well. I think if we have the most successful ones, there's G2 Esports, there's Fnatic, and those are the only two that are in the conversation right now. Maybe Carlos first. Is this the lineup that is going to break that 7 title record from Fnatic?
Oh no, the
Surpass it?
title conversation is over already.
It's over?
In my mind, it's over already.
Yeah?
Here's the thing. So even though he gets a lot of flack, Perkz, like the level of maturity required to give up the role that you grew in, and a role that many people consider you the best Western player of, and not only give it to anybody, but to give it to the biggest competitor, right? And go to the bot lane and take that ego hate, He just deserves such a level of respect, As I respect Lucas so much for that, because that clearly means he values success of the team over his own ego, And for someone so young, gets so much flack. Honestly, I hope you guys all can see that, because it just takes so much to do something like that.
Yeah, Luca, you're one of a kind indeed when it comes to being a competitor. What does that do to you to hear that from, your owner, your boss, but I can assume only also a friend?
I mean, it feels nice, and our relationship is very nice, and and I just I wanted to commit this win to my teammates, because when Sjokz was joining G2 and Wunder too, I did tell them that we're gonna win a title, and then we didn't have a chance against Fnatic last year, and we lost like even earlier in summer split. So it didn't really go our way, but I tried to do my best to make sure we can win a title, and if that made me changing roles, then it is. I also want to commit this win to my family, who is supporting me a lot. My brother is here with his family, and my other brother is here. And my mom and dad are watching from home, right? And my nephew is here, who watched me lose in Copenhagen last year, and he's 7 years old, so he was crying last time, so I'm really happy that he's happy now.
Aww.
And just thankful for my teammates and my club, and it feels great. It just feels nice.
Oh, fantastic. Well, in that case, I know, it's probably been a long weekend, a lot of practice, a lot of press. There's so many people that want to talk to you, by the way, from all over the world. So I do want to wrap it up, but there's one big topic we got to talk about. It's coming, MSI. Yamato Cannon on the desk, and many people are already making foregone conclusions. G2 wins MSI. No other team has a chance. This is what's gonna happen. Talk to me about the expectations for MSI. Wunder, you can begin.
Well, I think from like watching other regions, I think that the Chinese league looks the strongest, like for sure the strongest. I mean, SKT looks really good as well, but I feel like the overall level of LCK is like a bit worse. So I'm pretty confident against every other team, basically, or like every other region. I think Korea has been stepping up from the Worlds performance they had this year, or like last year now. And China is still really strong, so these two are the teams we're looking to beat. But I think it's perfectly doable, and I think against the Chinese teams we have like more of an edge or like an advantage than we did last year at Worlds, because now we are mechanically all the best in our role and the best in Europe, and I think that's what it takes to challenge a team like IG or something like that.
It's just crazy that we're just talking about it in the context of, yeah, it's winnable. And for once, and this is dangerous, I don't think it's crazy, because often, you can't see outside of your own bubble. But I think therein, Perkz, also lies the danger, right? Because you don't know yet. You don't know how good you're going to be. Or do you know by this level alone in Europe that you have a sure shot at MSI?
Well, I'm kind of surprised at how strong we actually are. I mean, just a little bit. I expect us to be strong, but winning this convincing makes me think if we are just that good or if Europe is just not that good. But I thought that actually Europe was quite good, so maybe we are just that good. And I do think that winning MSI is a goal. It's not unrealistic. I've been to finals 2 years ago when I thought back then that we had like very low chance to win. But this time I'm going into the tournament with actually just winning it all. There, like nothing else will satisfy me. So yeah.
I love it. You just said that. Mickey, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I'm not really sure how much I will be able to practice for MSI. I mean, I'm hoping I could take a small break. But yeah, if I actually can play normally, like if I can practice normally, I think we can go pretty far and even win it, yeah.
What could you say as an update officially for your health? Because you're saying now you won't be able to practice that much. What are we looking at here?
Well, so far I've played like 2 games a day of scrims. So I think I'll keep doing that. But yeah, it kind of sucks if we're gonna go to Korea bootcamp and like I won't be able to really play the solo queue or scrim against the good teams. So it's kind of bittersweet, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
But, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. We hope, of course, it gets better and better fast. But obviously, it's a balance, Carlos, because he can't strain himself. And on the other hand, he wants to win. So how are you going to surround Mickey and the whole team going into MSI?
The problem is that he will never say in a game series, right, that he has pain, right? So then you need to have a really, because he disregards his, well-being for the good of the team, because he knows that the team just plays better with him, more scrims in the, so we need a support staff, which we do have, that understands how to maneuver with all these dynamics. He works with a chiropractor, he works with a physiotherapist. He has, he's working on it really hard. So I think it's a matter of time until it fixes itself. But we just need to be very careful and sensitive with the topic, and not play nearly as much as we would like to play with him. But Promise Q is doing an incredible job, and he also gets a lot of flack,
Yeah.
But we know he's just really, really good, and these guys respect him a lot, which is what matters.
Definitely. So do you see them winning MSI? Are you already imagining it?
Before LEC started, I got interviewed a few times, and I always said, I mean, that's the goal, right? The goal is to win MSI, LEC, Worlds. But many people just roll their eyes, right? But the truth is that the best thing we can do as a team and the best thing they can do as players is to put together the best possible team and to do the best they can do. And then the chances, the likeliness of that happening will increase from 0.01% from last year, maybe to 10, 15%. And I'll take it,
Yeah.
That's all we live for.
Okay, fantastic. We're going to have the last round of questions, and I just wanted to ask you guys to have any closing remarks for all the wonderful people here, and just looking back on all the fans that have supported you in LEC this spring split so far, and anything you want to say to the G2 fans. Perkz, do you want to start?
Yeah, I would like to thank the Arena of Rotterdam Ahoy for for being amazing crowd. Thank you guys, really amazing crowd. And I've been here 3 years ago, and today was just as good as before, if not even better, because there's a lot more G2 jerseys, a lot more G2 chants. Before it was not that great, but now it's on the rise. So yeah, thank you guys, and I would like to thank everyone who is not here watching, but is watching from home, and people who are not watching, whoever is supporting us, I really appreciate it, and my teammates do as well. Even though we don't always answer, the supporting messages do help us, and just knowing that there is people that we do this for makes it feel better for us as well. So yeah, thank you guys.
G2 Army.
Fantastic. I think we've covered it all. Do you want to say anything else, Mickey or Wunder?
Well, he has been mentioned, but I would like to still give a shout out to Spradle or Promiscu, Hampus, however you know him. I truly believe that like this guy would be better than like half of the supports currently in LEC, and he's like receiving a lot of hate, or like there's a lot of people who he has like a bad reputation, right? So there's a lot of people who don't know how good he actually is, and he helped our team a lot. Like without him, and with maybe some other support that we maybe didn't get along with, or like maybe didn't play as well, we probably wouldn't have looked as dominant as we do like today and last week when we played. So huge shout out to him.
Yeah. It says a lot about you as a person and the team that you take this moment to thank him as well. Mikyx?
Yeah, I would also like to thank Campus or Promiscu, and I think he's really underrated, and I think he gets really like undeserved flack, I guess, by the community. And I really just like to thank him for subbing in for me, like whenever I couldn't really play. And I'd also like to thank my family that came to watch today, and people that are watching from home.
Okay, fantastic.
And also to Dafman, Grabs, and Mitch, who worked really, really hard to make all of this work. They have to deal with these guys on a daily basis. You know? and they really work really hard. And everybody from G2, graphic designer, we have Thomas, we have Karina, we have literally everybody, Charles, everybody that work really hard behind the scenes. None of you ever see that, but they're the reason why, you know, we're even G2 today.
Yeah, absolutely. Can I just say your content is also
Thank you so much.
often hilariously funny and also very entertaining. With that, we're going to say goodbye to you guys here in Rotterdam and also at home. I just want to do a big thank you to everyone who's been watching the entire split here in the LEC. We kicked off a new era in Europe, and it has been fantastic so far, and it has only been so because of all of your support. Everyone here in the Ahoy Arena, thank you so much for watching us here this weekend. Thank you guys at home for watching us the entire spring split. Congratulations to G2 Esports for being the very first LEC champions. They will be back for more, and we'll see them, and we'll see all of you at MSI. Good night.
2019 LEC Spring Playoffs, where the top 6 teams from the regular season compete for the championship.
Fnatic, they are here to defend their title.
Jungle superstar
G2 Esports, they've struggled in the last couple of weeks.
As the split progressed, I think teams got
Can't wait
better.
to see all the teams leave everything out on the ring.
Two fantastic teams going toe-to-toe, a surging Fnatic, strongest team in the second half, up against Vitality, constantly touted as underdogs, but never to be underestimated. Capo just nukes it, trying to extend that trade, uses the Cutlass for the slow, a few more autos, wants to get forward, buying a bit more time, but playing out so well! No! Here comes Mowgli, here comes Jackdaw, and the rest of Vitality. Flash forward mode, which is going to move in, he should be able to take this one down, but he's still alive! Wait, what? Whippo! Jackdaw? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No way. You wanted someone to replace Soaz Fnatic. I think you found it. Why will this man not die? Look, he's literally on the Nexus 1v3. He does not care. Someone comes in. He's just going to keep it going. Does he get a chance to use the ultimate as well? He does. That's a double kill. Wants a few more. They're walking right into the fountain. They just keep beating him. That's the Quadra. Is he going to get the Penta? I cannot believe it. Pentakill for Nemesis. The series is over. And a reminder to all of Europe, Fnatic did not come into this split to compete. They came to dominate. It's your boy Manny. It's your boy Benny. It's your boy Benny. It's your boy Benny. And it's your boy Andy.
This is the playoffs. Can we take this a little bit more seriously, please, Ender? FLICKR consider themselves the strongest of the 4 teams in round 1.
And on the other side of the rift, of course, SK Gaming coming in after winning the tiebreaker match, led by Selfmade. The quickest use as well. Dreams is assassinated. Croucher trying to survive on the back. Humanoid shuffles away with the void rush from Selfmade. Chasing him. Selfmade takes one. Period goes down as well, but now it's on the Croucher. Kobe comes in from the side. The blade puller pulls him back. Selfmade on the flank has the Infinity Edge. Remember, he could crit someone. Infinity Edge does all the work. Kobe almost dies. There we go. He void rushes in, but the Stand United is too much. Kobe gets the kill.
He didn't land a single crit there. Not a crit, not a crit, not a crit.
You can't predict RNG, Vedius. Kobe trying to get on towards that front line, gets the shut down onto Period. Now he's on Crouch on the Stand United. Is in up. When they keep him alive, he gets away from the back of the fight. It's a double kill for Kobe. They sweep SK under the map, and they prove that they belong amongst the best teams in the LEC.
In the fight for the trophy, only one of these teams will be able to continue down the path. Winner goes to Rotterdam, loser is eliminated. The stakes cannot get higher. Fantastic rupture! KLLT comes down by some seconds. Take a look at that! Delivers the shock to Kobe, but the damage just to follow back up. That's one for Fnatic. That's 2. That's a death sentence going awry. But Kobe doesn't care. He's got 2. Nemesis is stepping forward. That's a triple kill. Picked up for Kobe. The Quadra, the Nexus, and Splicey for the series. Oh, Whippo's gonna fancy it, but at what cost? The Emperor's Divide. And Whippo's gonna get told. Where did that damage come from? Whippo and Brox.
Oh, they're going.
They're going for the Nexus. Now, well then, that's gonna bring it back up. The Nexus is being focused. Fnatic have done it. Wise put up a good fight. It is Fnatic that has earned the right to defend their title in Rotterdam.
Top 2 teams in the LEC fighting off for a spot in the finals in Rotterdam. And G2, they say, OG, you can want a team fight all you want. Alfari gets the double, almost gets the triple. The heroes, they just, no way is Alfari just turned that one around. It was all G2. Mikyx now comes in. One good half split under your belt, you think you're back at the top. Hate to break it to you, you and your boost group, but G2 and you'll get dropped. Mikyx gets the justice punch on Scabs who has to flash away, but he's pulled back into the heart of Origen, and they rip out the heart of G2.
It's bad drafts, it's bad reads, it's Mikyx wrist, it's just greedy.
4,000 HP left on the Elder. Jankos trying to get Jankos steals it away, and now G2 are just going to bust out mid, and G2 will silence anyone that doubted them, and they will fight for the title in Rotterdam.
Rotterdam, what is your region?
Matthew looking for he got one. He's gonna grab. Nemesis not quite the target you want to grab. That's the 3-man knockup. This could turn massively. The Scion zombie is going to be huge here. Alfari now on the chase. The knockup comes out. Whippo desperately trying to buy time. They saw him on the water. The flash. Oh! Nuke Duck now dominating. Fnatic, can they turn the fight? Nemesis is alive and well. Reckless is still okay. They're going to try to get a little bit more, but Nuke Duck is simply too strong. Patrick not going to get taken out. Hylissang desperate to get it, but the flash is still there. They were counted out, but here in the Ahoy Arena, OG have cut down Fnatic and will find themselves in a rematch versus G2.
Goal. Cook takes the kill. I don't. Okay, nice. That's fine.
Just got to defend a little crazy. I feel like that right now they're not level.
Oh, there's the flash crescendo. A flashless Patrick. G2 go up 1-0 in the finals.
It would have given Caps the go-ahead for the rise, but by going for the Yasuo and the Kinnan, it now says...
This is a pike! We got a pike, let's go!
All right, there's an early flash from Perkz already, but look at the turnaround damage. Mikyx going low, defensive flash. Mikyx survives.
Look, bind.
Yeah.
G2 Esports funnel their way to victory. Now Mikyx jumping in the back. Pop Blossom from Perkz. AP Nico does so much damage. Mikyx unable to kill Mickey, but Cole goes down. Caps puts the hammer down.
Champ is so Nico is actually OP.
Look. We can end with Herald.
Oh, I'm dead. Endo.
Hit me.
Origen are crumbling to G2. Europe kneels to its champion, G2 Esports. The world awaits G2.
Right, so where? There he is. Oh, look at him. There he is. Maybe time. Oh, we want to do it one by one? Well, maybe like go up and down. Oh, we want to Trevor, kiss me.
Why did you break up with Quickshot for Mikyx?
I want like jazz club vibes, and instead I feel like I've got like tennis shoes. With the tennis shoes. Well, I can't not wear tennis shoes.
The answer is zip wires. And it's
Zip
like,
wire that is.
Betty.
I'm too heavy for zip wire. Hey, want to drive?
Where is everybody?